Frost looked on the gathered crowd, now 3,000 strong. With heavy heart, his voice rang loud as he sang this loveless song. God is a guide from field, from wave, from plow, from anvil, and from loom. We come our country's rights to save and speak a tyrant faction's doom. We raise the watchword liberty. We will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. Bobbies took an oath to be our nation's warders, swearing that they would enforce Sir Robert's Rules of Order. Till Newport rose a million friends who rallied each supporter to join this flood of working men against Robert's Rules of Order. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. This, on the steps of Parliament, John Frost stood proud and tall. A hush fell on this great event as he told them one and all, depose the gentry and the crown, depose the House of Lords, or join the Queen in exile by Robert's Rules of Order. So Chartists, Luddites, Communists, recall each faithful martyr who died so you could have your new world Robert's Rules of Order. Say it loud, vote your favor, shout it high. All in favor, you say aye. Favor, aye. Favor, aye. A mandate of the people's cry. Favor, aye. Favor, aye. Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed, you say nay. Opposed, nay. Opposed, nay. The motion carries anyway. As currents change and bring to us our tear-corrupted warder, in chains subdued and ill-abused, he's left with no supporters. Mobility's will can then proceed by our own rules of order, and we'll all cheer for country's sake when Robert's drawn in quarter. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament shall be reborn with Robert's Rules of Order.
Yay, it did. It switched. I did the setting right.
I just put the share up on my Facebook page.
That's
what I was doing.
And maybe eventually we'll be able to do it so it does that automatically. But, so,
yeah.
We've got like another 45 minutes.
We're back from dinner.
We're back from dinner, and now I'm like super full and fat. And then I've got another meeting after this one.
You're not fat. I'm fat.
Got another meeting after this one. Not that this is a meeting. I've got enough. Whatever. All right, are you ready? Because I've been looking at this one, and this is a tough one.
Well, let's get to it.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. You don't watch Letterkenny, do you?
I don't watch a lot of TV anymore.
Letterkenny is hilarious.
I destroyed my my cable and satellite shit over a decade ago.
Okay.
I don't miss much of it.
Here we go.
Okay.
At a properly called meeting,
okay,
a person has been expelled from membership.
Okay.
A motion to rescind the expulsion is made and seconded.
Okay.
The chair should A. State that the motion to rescind has been made and seconded and call it up at the next regular meeting. B. Rule the motion to rescind out of order. C. Ask, shall the question be considered and take a vote, similar to an objection to the consideration of the question. D. None of the above are correct.
D.
It's B.
B?
Rule it out of order.
Why?
I don't know. And I'll tell you an ambiguity.
The reason why, the reason why I didn't think it was A was because of the bring up with the next regular meeting.
Right. Like if
I would say it was made and seconded right now. You can
then
take
you'd
it up right
take
now.
it right now, right?
Which is also why I was thinking D. Rule them out of order doesn't make any sense because I don't know why it would be out of order. Shall the question be considered and take a vote similar to? I don't know what they're even talking about there. Shall it be considered to take a vote similar to objection to consider? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, here's where I'm seeing maybe an ambiguity in the question or whatever. So when it says at a properly called meeting, a person has been expelled.
Yeah.
Are they saying the motion to rescind is made at the same meeting they were expelled? Or were they expelled at an earlier meeting? It doesn't say. It just says it was properly called.
Yeah, it's not specific on
So what I'm
both are in the same meeting or
assuming,
different ones. Yeah.
what I'm assuming, it's that meeting that they've been expelled. That meeting,
Yeah.
and the reason why a motion to rescind would be out of order is because since it's at the same meeting, it would be actually a reconsideration, not a rescission.
Yeah, let's see what the citation says.
I can't say. That's what I said. This is a tough one.
Yeah. Section 35.
Yep, which is rescind, right?
308, probably. Yeah. It is rescind.
And I don't know if we have any of our regulars back. Okay, so rescind.
And it says 308, 27 to 30.
Yeah.
That's just above form and example. Actions that cannot be rescinded or amended.
Ah, okay.
It's item C in mine, which is probably, item C in yours. Yeah.
Oh, check this out. Okay, so when a resignation has been acted upon, or a person has been elected to or expelled from membership or office, and the person was present or has been officially notified of the action,
Yes.
the only way to reverse an expulsion is to follow whatever procedure is described in the bylaws for admission or reinstatement. So that's why it's out of order. You can't rescind it.
Huh. What happens if the bylaws are silent? Then you're stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you would do if the bylaws, no idea. But that's why you can't rescind. It's one of the actions that cannot be rescinded. This is one. Expulsions cannot be rescinded.
Right. You see why I was thinking B, because I was looking at the terms of it's a valid motion.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances. And,
yeah.
Moved in second.
I mean, A and C were definitely ridiculous. So
Yeah.
it was just whether it was B or D. And it just turns out this is not something you can rescind. So, you generally, I mean, at least in the LP, I don't know if in the LP you can't expel somebody unless the bylaws allow for it.
Right.
And I guess it's just good practice. If your bylaws allows for expulsion, you should have something in there that says how they can redeem themselves.
Yeah, California. California's.
Stop.
You can't do that with your nails. So
Stop. Stop.
California had a provision about expulsion, but not
How to get back in?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's eternal?
In the case, and in the case of the person in question, I'm thinking of, it should have been, but that's not a story.
Okay, well, we learned
and
again.
It wasn't one of our favorite California whipping boys either. Somebody else.
Learned something. I told you that was a tough one.
Now for Colorado, because our membership is based on voter registration,
there's not a damn thing you can do. You can't rescind some. I mean,
unless there's a movement down the road to make dues-paying members.
Right.
Then there may be a means to say, well, we can't kick you out of the party in terms of registration, but we can certainly ban you from the active operations of the party because we will not allow your dues-paying membership.
But is there... Okay, here's my confusion. In the minor party law, does it say that everyone who's registered is a member?
No, it doesn't.
Why does everyone tell me that's how we ended up with not having dues anymore, that we couldn't control our members?
Because they don't understand the history behind it all.
So, in theory, our bylaws could be amended to say only people who are registered libertarian and dues-paying members are members.
Yes.
I don't know why we don't do that. We have no idea who our members are right now. It's 42,000. Just like
that's part of the reason why. It's because if you put that into play, that number would shrink.
Well, but that way you can actually notify members of everything.
Well, I agree, but
And do you want to have a convention where any random amount of 42,000 people we've never seen before can just show up and change everything? I don't.
Well, the pure volume would be a good problem to have, but I also understand your point.
Right. I mean, it's just they haven't had any involvement or education or whatever.
But at the same time, we also have there's a piece in our bylaws which allows for affiliates to set extra requirements to be a delegate to the state convention.
Yeah, but what if they don't?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's that goes back to how the bottoms up nature of the party
most
is laid out.
And I don't think it's so tragic to have a smaller number. Most state parties do this. We are unusual.
Because, we have it in there for future growth. And when they tried to look at taking that out in the coffee clash.
No, I'm not even talking
no
about
way.
that. I'm talking about, I don't see any problem with limiting our membership to those who are paying dues. Because that's what nearly every state party does.
We are a little odd in that. We are an odd duck in that respect. Yes.
Because also, there might come up a question, as happened in Oregon, where, competing boards and all that bullshit. Who do you poll?
Arizona, too.
Who do you poll to ask? 42,000 people who didn't even know we existed? Or people who actually have skin in the game?
Right. And that makes a big difference.
So,
but the other hand, the opposite of that, it goes to the argument of pay to play and all that stuff.
We're I don't get why libertarians of all people don't understand in most things in life you have to pay to play.
I don't get it either, but it is what it is.
You don't have to pay to have your basic human rights, but there's no right to be in an organization.
Yeah. I get pissed off at the news agencies who make it with those paywalls up because it's like, well, first of all, we'd like to read what you're talking about as a direct influence on us. And the second thing about it is half the time you put all these pop-ups and shit getting away anyway. So.
And here's another, you gonna stop that with that or I'm gonna kill you. You're driving me crazy.
What a map. I know all the shortcuts. Let's see. If anyone makes made a mistake and wants to reinstate the member, someone can raise a point of order that the expulsion violated the bylaws, violated due process or whatever, and declare the expulsion null and void.
But what if they don't think they made a mistake? They just think the member's been rehabilitated.
Yeah.
For whatever naughty thing that they did.
Yeah. And Richard raises a decent point, but
Interesting. Okay, and that's why in the 80s we had $20,000 in the bank because we only had dues-paying members.
Okay, here's a historical question. I don't know the answer to this, so this is from a pure ignorance. When I first came into the party in 2000, they had the UMP going on. And that went away at some point. And it hasn't been back since.
It can't because of some kind of federal law makes it impossible.
Okay. My question is this. How did that or not having that impact our bank balance?
I'm sure it had an impact.
The answer. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
National was basically paying the state party, so I'm sure it had an impact.
Sure.
But that wasn't in the 80s.
No, UMP was much later.
Right. So...
Yeah, but I don't have enough history of the party to know how that worked out.
To be honest with you, I don't know terribly much about it, at least financially wise either.
Yeah.
But I know before we were a ballot qualified party, we had dues.
Right.
And I was told that changed when we became ballot qualified because the law required us to say anyone who is a registered libertarian is a member.
I have to double check on that one in the minor party law.
Maybe it used to say that and doesn't now. I don't know.
I'll have to take a look to see what it says.
I'm going to have to ask David Aiken as well.
Yeah, he'll write the damn thing. He should know.
Because if that's not the case, then I don't know why we don't have dues.
I could go pop it up on my phone and my flash stick right now if I wanted to, but let's not worry about that right now.
And I understand the whole, some people are too poor for dues. Then you
povertarian argument.
You can have a volunteer. You could do hours or something.
Yeah.
But
a lot of the povertarian arguments, at least in California, were because of the trying to charge a fee for a floor fee.
Yeah, floor fee is different. If you're a member, you have a right to vote, and I don't believe in floor fees. No. But I don't have a problem with there being a cost to being a member.
No, and I fought back floor fees multiple times in the past anyway.
Yeah. I think that's something for a future bylaws committee or even a special committee to study. Even if and usually the dues are they're like $20 a year. We're not talking a great deal. And it's like, I'm sorry, but running a political party takes money.
Money is the mother's milk of politics. That will never end, never change.
And if we had dues, we might be able to actually like start to financially support certain candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's because
we'd be able to financially support actually helping grow affiliates in other ways too.
That's something to definitely look at. If it's not required by law,
improve our outreach materials, all sorts of stuff we could do.
I think it's ridiculous we don't have dues.
Yeah.
And you want to know what? If the whole povertarian argument, there could be a fund set aside that if someone meets certain minimal, like, can show hardship to the board, that they get sponsored out of this fund.
I'm making a mental note to myself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would put money when I have it. Right now I don't. I'd be one of the povertarians right now. But I'd put money into a sponsorship fund for impoverished members. And I think most people would.
Right.
I think like when you go to pay your dues, it could say, do you want to contribute an extra $5 that will go into a fund for impoverished members?
Check minor party law to see if there... What were we checking on this? If there's a residency requirement? Or no, that wasn't that.
No.
About the dues, wasn't it?
Oh, to see if being a registered X, whatever it might be, automatically makes you a member of that political party, a member with rights to come vote in a convention and all of that. And because I'm worried if, there could be an impact to us being able to opt out of primaries and stuff if we don't, follow everything to the letter.
I wish we could opt out of primaries.
We do.
Yeah. Well,
except for that one, there's that one exception that we can't opt out of it if the candidate... Right.
30% rule, yeah.
But we're not forced into primaries like as a general rule.
Yeah, we have the option to exclude unaffiliateds and other parties from our primaries. We've always had that, but we don't. I don't think we have the ability right to exclude to having a primary if the 30% rule is hit.
Right, but that's
why I brought that up at the convention regarding one of those voting.
No, but
things.
We have opted out. You have to officially opt out to be able to nominate at all at convention, and we did that. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
And I don't want to lose that.
I don't either.
If for some reason, like, part of the, like, hammer and stick, carrot and stick thing with that is that if you want that privilege, quote unquote, you have to allow everyone who's a registered X to be considered a voting member.
Right. And if I had my way, we'd get rid of primaries completely.
Well, of course.
Because why should our tax dollars subsidize internal party operations for a private organization? Right. But that's been the argument why we have it in the platform in the first place.
Okay. All right. So I put that over to you then.
Yes. Okay. So the 15th.
The 15th.
Oh, postpone indefinitely.
Thank you, Lord God. What?
Which of the following is a standard descriptive characteristic of postpone indefinitely?
Okay.
A, 2/3 to adopt. B, affirmative vote on the motion to postpone indefinitely can be reconsidered.
No.
C, it may be made when another has the floor and must be seconded. Or D, none of the above.
Wait, I'm confused now. Okay, standard descriptive characteristic of motion to postpone indefinitely. It does not require 2/3.
Okay. A requires 2/3.
It does not require 2/3.
B, an affirmative vote on the motion to postpone indefinitely can be reconsidered.
Can it be? Hold on. Can an affirmative vote on... I don't know about that. Okay, continue.
C, it may be made when another has the floor and must be seconded.
No, it can't be made when another has the floor. It's not... Okay.
And D, none of the above.
And what was B again?
An affirmative vote on the motion to postpone indefinitely can be reconsidered.
I'm going to say D.
It's actually B.
It is B? It can be reconsidered.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I wasn't sure about that. Let me go look at my little chart at here.
Tinted pages 61 and 46 in the...
Yeah, I'm just going to find it in alphabetical on mine, but why did I think...
Section 11 for the main part.
I'm wondering what the argument is. I don't...
Oh, I turned right to the page of it. 10 to 25 on the...
Yeah, it just says yes. No, that's just affirmative vote only.
Okay, characteristic number 3 is out of order when someone has the floor. Another has the floor. Okay, so that takes care of C. Must be seconded. We already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Is debatable. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da-da.
A majority vote.
It's not amendable. Majority vote. That takes care of the 2/3. Okay, item 8. An affirmative vote on the motion to postpone indefinitely can be reconsidered. Asterisk. A negative vote on it cannot be reconsidered. After the vote, this motion cannot be renewed as to the same main motion for 2 reasons. And it goes through those. Asterisk. Upon the reconsideration of a vote that is to postpone the main motion indefinitely, both the main motion and the motion to postpone indefinitely will become pending, and the motion to postpone indefinitely becoming the immediately pending question.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're attached.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I don't know. That was just, it was kind of, I was
It's
uncertain.
just that we don't see a past indefinitely like that to be reconsidered very often.
We don't see reconsiderations very often.
No, we
so
don't.
I already, it is something that I don't have drilled into my head. I always have to look up which things
Sure.
can be reconsidered or not.
Yeah.
Ugh, this keeps getting stuck on my hair. All right. You and I are not doing so well.
Get food coma going on.
Yes, okay. 16th. One of the effects of postponing a question to a specified hour
Okay.
or until after a particular event in a meeting is which of the following? A. To ensure that the question cannot come up before the predetermined time, except by a 2/3 vote or through a reconsideration of the postponement. B. To ensure that the question will be called up at the time set. C. To give notice that the question will be considered by the assembly. D. All of the above are correct.
Okay, wait a minute. Please restate everything there. 'Cause I got lost.
Yeah, me too. One of the effects
Uh-huh.
of postponing a question to a specified hour
Okay.
or until after a particular event in a meeting
Okay.
is which of the following? A. To ensure that the question cannot come up before the predetermined time, except by a 2/3 vote or through a reconsideration of the postponement.
Okay.
B. To ensure that the question will be called up at the time set.
Maybe.
C. To give notice that the question will be considered by the assembly.
No.
D. All of the above are correct.
Okay. I don't think C is right, which also eliminates D. So give me B again.
To ensure that the question will be called up at the time set.
And the original thing was about postponing to a certain time or after an event.
Yes.
Okay, that excludes the event part, so I'm gonna go with A by elimination.
It is A.
Okay.
I don't think it's for the reason you said, though I'm not. B is just kind of really weird, but it is A. And let's see.
Where are we going?
It
It'll be
is.
section 14.
Yep, section 14.
I
And
know
you
that
don't
much.
forget to put your little tick
Okay,
mark
yeah,
where
I'll
you're
get there.
kicking my
Let's
ass.
find the page again first. 186, 23 to 29. Okay, that is section 14. It's under a section called Priority of Postponed Items and its relation to order of business and orders of the day. That's a lot of writing.
It just says, okay, and what 186, 23 through 29 is?
Yeah, it's well after standard descriptive characteristics. And after it's under further rules and explanation, and it's a few pages farther along. It's before form and example.
Okay. Further rules and explanation.
Yeah. Priority of postponed items is what you're looking
Okay.
for.
I don't have priority yet.
In relation to order of business is the other part of that one.
I don't have that.
Huh. Okay.
Well, you're going to have to read that then,
Yeah,
and I'll
yes.
find it in here.
Because I marked my thing on the board there. Okay. Okay. This is okay. Where the hell am I going? 186. Okay. Too many pages. Okay, this is under the section titled Priority of Postponed Items and its Relation to Order of Business and Orders of the Day. And it's a couple of paragraphs down. The effect of postponing a question to a specified hour or until after a particular event in a meeting, making it a general order for that hour, is 1. To ensure that the question cannot come up before the predetermined time except by a 2/3 vote or through a reconsideration of the postponement. Okay, that's what A was. And 2, to provide that it will come up at the time named or later, depending upon certain circumstances.
But that was what B was. Or
there we go. We're gonna say what? Oh, yeah. Your turn.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you what A is.
A was to A. Okay, let me read this full back. One of the effects of postponing a question to a specified hour or until after a particular event in a meeting is which of the following: A, to ensure that the question cannot come up before the predetermined time, except by a 2/3 vote or through a reconsideration of the postponement. So that was
yeah. So that was A, but I think they just said B too, didn't they?
B says to ensure the question will be called up at the time set. The time named or later, depending upon certain circumstances. Okay, they're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
Because B says to ensure the question will be called up at the time set,
and it can be later because it's a general order.
Right.
Now, I don't. You know that whole section. I can't find it in here.
Huh. It's interesting. What, postponed questions, effective debate?
Where's it at in relation to form an example?
Form an example is like, okay, do you have effective emotions to adhering to a postponed question?
No, this whole section.
There it is, right there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Back 1, 2, 3. Back 4 paragraphs from that. A postponed question becomes. Oh, there it is, right. No, wait a minute. Okay, this paragraph is up here. Postponed question or the day for the session, which is postponed. That's been rewritten. That's right here.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think they've changed this entire section around.
Okay. That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Yeah, but to continue on that reading so fast, such an order of the day cannot be interrupted pending questions, and except by a 2/3 vote.
Right.
It cannot come up before the general orders have been reached in orders of business, even if the time named has arrived or passed, but is automatically taken up at the time named or as soon thereafter as general orders have been reached, and any of the following matters, all of which the process over have been disposed of: a pending question,
right.
Special order for that hour has come into conflict, a reconsider motion that's called up, or any other general order made before it was made, unless it was set for a time that hasn't gotten here yet.
Right. Yeah. So that's why it's not to ensure that it will be up at that time.
Right. And notice didn't make any sense anyway
right.
for C. So,
okay. All righty.
I got that one right.
You got that one right. You're kicking my ass.
Okay. The 17th.
The 17th.
Motions to lay on the table.
I want to lay on the table. Okay.
That's what she said. Which of the following are true of the subsidiary motion to lay on the table?
Okay.
A motion to lay on the table that has been voted down can be renewed after material progress in a debate.
Wait, sorry, I got distracted. Say that again, Mr. Seebeck.
Okay. Which of the following are true of a subsidiary motion to lay on the table?
Okay.
A motion to lay on the table that has been voted down can be renewed after material progress in debate. B, we've seen some of this before.
I know, and I got it wrong the first
B,
time.
Another motion made on the same day to lay the same question on the table is in order only after material progress in business or debate has been made.
Isn't that the same thing?
First one was had been voted down.
Okay.
This wasn't on the motion, period. C, a question that has been taken from the table can be laid on the table again. Or D, all the above.
I need to see this. I'm really confused. Can you? Okay. Which of the following are true? Okay. A motion that has been voted down can be renewed after material progress. Okay. Another motion made the same day to lay the same. These two seem to be the same thing.
Well, B doesn't address whether it was voted down or up or down. That just is voted down. So they're a little bit different.
Well, it seems it would have to have been voted down if you're going to do the same motion.
This one's another motion. So,
Okay.
Yeah. A deals with one motion voted down, which can be renewed. B deals with a second motion to lay on the table, lay the same question on the table.
Why would you need a second one if the first one wasn't voted down?
Maybe the first one was withdrawn.
Okay.
Or maybe different. Maybe it might be substantively different. It's the same topic.
I'm going to say D.
And the answer is D.
Guess. It was a guess. It was a guess because it seemed right. Yay!
And the answer
Finally,
is D, all the above, yes.
I broke my losing streak.
She broke her drought.
Man. Okay. And you're going to find the reading section.
Indeed, yes.
You didn't cheat, did you?
No.
Yeah, that's how you're kicking my ass. You're cheating.
It said that. Excuses. You can take from the table, debate it, and lay it on the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was C. Which was, you can take it
Yes.
from the table and put it back
Yes,
on the table.
That was item C.
Yes.
Okay. This is section 17.
Section 17, which...
Is lay on the table.
Yeah, but what color is it?
Yellow. Last yellow tab.
So it's subsidiary. I just like categorizing
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. And we go to 213, 24 to 32, which is renewal of the motion to lay on the table, semicolon, laying a question on the table again.
Where?
Further rules and explanations.
Right, I found it. It's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's 1711 in this.
Right. Here's what it says. A motion to lay on the table that has been voted down can be renewed, or a question that has been taken from the table can be laid on the table again, subject to the following condition in either case. A motion made on the same day. Okay, I got a hole in my thing here.
There's a hole.
Oh, to lay
in my
this.
bucket.
There's a hole in my Roberts, dear Robert, dear Robert. A motion made on the same day to lay the same question on the table. I'm pretty sure it's lay. Is in order only after material progress in business or debate has been made, or when unforeseen urgent matter requires an immediate attention.
Mm-hmm.
This rule is a consequence of the fact that the rejection of a motion to lay on the table or the taking of a question from the table means that the assembly wishes to consider the matter at that time.
Okay. Simple enough.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, Mr. Seebeck. And you're going to get 2 in a row because the next one is a Sunday and I don't have any more articles from JJ. Plus, we want to get as much in as we can before 6:30.
Yeah.
So,
We got about 10 minutes. So.
18th.
Oh, Mount St. Helens Day. Okay.
Debate on the motions to rescind
Oh, boy.
or amend something previously adopted.
Okay.
A. May go into the merits of the question which is proposed to be rescinded or amended. B. Must be confined to the desirability of the motion to rescind or amend something previously adopted and may not go into the merits of the motion to be rescinded or amended.
Okay.
C. Depends on whether the individual speakers exhausted their debate limits on the motions to be rescinded or amended. C. Depends on whether...
That was C, wasn't it?
No, D.
Yeah.
Depends on whether the motion to be rescinded or amended was debatable.
Okay. We're talking about a motion to rescind or amend something previously adopted, which is debatable by definition. So D is out. So give me A again.
May go into the merits of the question which it is proposed to rescind or amend.
Possibly. Give me B.
Must be confined to the desirability of the motion to rescind or amend something previously adopted and may not go into the merits of the motion to be rescinded or amended.
No, that's crazy. Design. That's so subjective. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's see.
Depends on whether the individual speakers have exhausted their debate limits on the motion to be rescinded or amended.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm going with A, just because the other ones don't seem to make any sense to me.
It is A.
Okay.
Though some of these, I'm questioning this, so I want to read this. But
Yeah, that one was a lot.
so A. So it goes to the motion to rescind, which
Okay,
should
Section
be
35.
a green tab, right?
Yes. I
Because it's a
believe.
bring back, yes.
Yeah, rescind. Second green tab.
Okay.
What page are we at? 306. Okay. Which is standard characteristics, actually.
Okay.
Standard characteristics. It looks like 4 and 5.
Not in mine. Mine 4 and 5 and mine are seconded and debatable.
Yeah, that's what mine are.
Oh, well, that's weird because it goes into a lot more than that on here. It says may go. Yeah, that's
And
not.
then merits of the question, which is proposed to rescind or amend.
Oh yeah, so that's 5. Debate can go.
Yeah.
Why
in the hell do they care about? Seconded was line 5, not line 6. That's why.
Something I want to look back here. In these little whatchamacallit pages.
Your tinted pages.
Yes. It's funny, it doesn't. I think this is my one. I meant something previously adopted. It's funny that here it just says debatable. It doesn't have a little footnote saying it can go into the merits. You know?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I knew it was debatable coming out of the gate, which is why it depends on whether the motion to be rescinded on A or on D didn't make any sense. That's like, no, we know it's debatable, so that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Merits going to the merits of the question proposed to rescind or amend on A kind of makes sense, but point of elimination. But I was a little puzzled there because it was like, well, wait a minute. If you're moving to if you're moving to rescind, let's say a bylaw, just for purposes of that's what I'm good at, then yeah, you can go into the merits of the original thing you're trying to rescind because by definition you are. And amend something previously adopted, that goes to that's a little more fuzzy.
But you can go into the merits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, A made the most sense.
Yeah.
But C was just kind of like gobbledygook, and D I knew was wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know why D was wrong though.
Because it doesn't depend on whether
I know, but
because it is.
I didn't know that it was just always debatable.
Yeah.
All right.
As many bylaws as we've done, you didn't know that?
Well, I knew that for that one, but that's because the underlying motion is debatable. What happens if the underlying motion's an undebatable motion?
Okay, I think we sneak in one more.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes.
This is Sunday, so we're not doing a Sunday, so now you get another.
I get the bonus round.
I know, and you're gonna. I'm so competitive.
Not a bad thing, no.
The 20th.
Yes.
Some other standard descriptive characteristics
Oh boy.
of the motion for the previous question
Oh boy.
are which of the following?
Okay.
A. It is debatable.
No.
B. It is amendable.
No.
C. It is debatable only when the motion to which it applies is debatable.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
C. It is debatable only when the motion to which it applies is debatable.
No.
D. None of the above.
D by elimination.
You got the easiest question in the whole deck. We don't even need to look this up.
No. We've gone through that so many times. It's ridiculous.
I know. You got the easiest fucking question.
How many times did we call the previous question in the last weekend?
Because that was so easy, I think we can do another one.
Ironically enough, that was the day before. That was actually the day before the convention.
You bastard.
Well, what can I say?
You fucking bastard.
The shuffle happened.
kicking my ass.
One of these days, you gotta sit
Ow.
down and watch the movie Johnny Dangerously and see what the term "farking ice hole" means.
I don't watch movies, you know that.
That was hilarious. Okay, the 21st of May.
Yeah, please don't make this hard.
That's what she said.
No, she said the opposite. Harder, baby, harder.
Okay, you asked for it. A special committee to which was referred in a matter is automatically...
What? Speak English.
Oh, God, we're back to discharging special committees again.
God, and say it in English, please.
A special committee
Uh-huh.
to... Okay, wait a minute. We're trying to make some sense out of this because
Yes.
this is not written worth a damn.
Yeah.
Okay. A special committee has a matter referred to it.
Okay.
The committee is automatically discharged when? Okay. A. The committee chair advises the president or the assembly that has reached a deadlock. B. Submits its final report. C. The deadline for the committee report is passed without the report. Or D. A motion to discharge a committee is made. So one of the automatically discharged is the question.
So automatically discharged.
Yes. Don't overthink it.
Okay, what was D?
A motion to discharge the committee is made.
Making it doesn't do anything. It's just making it. That's not an automatic. So it's not D.
Right.
And even if the chair says it's deadlocked, that's not an automatic discharge.
No. Hung juries don't count.
And then, so what are the other two?
B. Submits its final report.
Okay.
And C. The deadline for the committee report is passed without the report.
So automatic. C.
It's B.
It's B?
Yeah.
Why? That wouldn't be automatic.
B. It submits its final report. Okay, let's go see what.
Why
they
would
say
that
about
be
this.
automatic?
I'm not sure, but let's go look at the font. Let's go see what it says. This is section 36, which is discharge a committee.
Why wouldn't they automatically be discharged if they
13.
didn't submit a report?
17 to 22. Okay. Here's what it says. This is 313, 17 to 22, section 36, under further rules and explanations.
Mm-hmm.
Under the discharge a committee, green tab.
Okay. Yeah. Further rules and explanations, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
The effect of discharging a committee.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's the second paragraph there. No, excuse me. It's the first one. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
When a committee is discharged from considering a matter, either by the adoption of a motion to discharge it or by the submission of its final report, the committee continues in existence as if it is a
If it is.
If it is a standing committee, but ceases to exist if it is a special committee that was appointed to take up the matter.
Right.
In any case, when a committee is thus discharged, its chairman returns to the secretary of the society all papers relating to the referred matter that were previously entrusted to him.
So I guess what they're saying is if a deadline passes and there's no report, the membership actually has to move to discharge them.
Yes.
It isn't my day, JJ. I'm sucking today. Which
raises the question. Okay.
But the automatic kind of got me.
Yeah, that was kind of weirdly worded. But you should have seen the original wording.
I don't want to see it.
It was terrible.
It's not my day. You are kicking my ass.
Okay. Here's the question, though. Okay, is our bylaws and platform committees, are they considered special committees or standing committees?
They're not. A special committee is an ad hoc.
Right. So not.
So it's not. They're a form of standing committee.
Okay.
You asked me this question before, and I put them into the hybrid of a bylaws mandated committee.
Right.
That has because standing committee its membership might change, but the committee always exists, so it's not really a standing committee.
Yeah.
But it's not a special one either.
Yeah.
At least not how I understand it.
Because we treat it as if it's a standing committee after the submission of the final report, which is at the deadline before the convention.
Right.
But they still exist because, national, they still have meetings up to the convention, platform and bylaws.
Right. Well,
But
No.
have they submitted their final report at that point for you guys?
we consider the submission of the report when it's presented to the assembly.
Aha. Okay.
So
Because state is different.
actually, no, in state, it's because otherwise there wouldn't be a committee chair to give a report.
Ah.
No, on both of those, the submission is the delivering it to the assembly.
Got it. Okay. So in that case, once it's delivered and everything's going through, then the committee's done.
Right, which is so it's at
Got it.
convention.
I see. Okay.
But I don't know. That's a good question for everyone out there. What would a platform committee be considered under the categorizations of committees? I mean, it's not a standing committee, is it? Or is it some kind of standing committee? Because it's not like a finance committee or an audit committee.
Yeah, because it comes and goes.
But it's also not ad hoc. Our bylaws require it. What
Right.
kind? Yeah, see, it is, I think, Jonathan says standing. I think it's a kind of standing committee, which is why I call it bylaws mandated, like to differentiate it.
490. I'm just looking at a curiosity request. 490.
It's almost like a periodic standing committee. You know?
Ordinary committees are of two types: standing committees, which have a continuing existence, or special committees, which go out of existence as soon as they've completed a specified task. So really, it's a standing special committee. If it's established in the bylaws,
It's a standing committee.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll buy that.
that's what I thought.
No pun intended, but I'll buy that.
We on the LNC consider, though, our standing committees if they're established in the bylaws or in the policy manual.
Oh, here we go. Standing committees are constituted to perform continuing function and remain in existence permanently or for the life of the assembly that establishes them. In an ordinary society, the members of such committees serve for a term corresponding to that of the officers or until their successors have been chosen, unless the bylaws or other rules otherwise expressly provide. Thus, a new body of committee members is normally appointed at the beginning of each administration. So that would put it as a standing committee, but the appointments don't exactly happen at the beginning of the new administration, happen later on.
And that's why we consider on the LNC committees established by our policy manual also to be standing committees, because they extinguish, the membership of them extinguishes at the end of each LNC term, and new appointments are made.
Okay.
They have continuing existence as committees, but the membership changes.
Yeah.
But in order to not get it confused, we divide things between bylaws mandated committees, policy manual mandated committees, and ad hoc committees.
Right.
Is the way we differentiate it.
That's also why I was trying to get that proposal passed to change how we select our bylaws, platform, and styles, so that they go from one convention to the next. So it's clear as to when their terms are. Right. And then, because
right now it's kind of,
it's kind of bring it up somewhere in here and then go from there. Yeah, instead of saying start here and.
But you want to know what? If our bylaws are unclear on that now, we can put it into a policy manual, because I am getting a policy manual passed.
I know that. That's one of the reasons why one of the proposals about the policy manual was going to be moved to be destroyed, die in a fire if it ever got that far, and it never did. Yeah, it's been written now, but it exists. But it probably needs to be tweaked a bit, updated. But it does exist. You and John Hirschman went through hell and back to get that straightened out.
Yeah, then he voted against it,
which was dumb.
I was so mad. And Richard Longstreth was so mad. He wasn't even in Colorado anymore, and he volunteered his time, and he never even got a thank you letter from the board. That was rude as hell. Yeah.
Well, that can be fixed, but
and they didn't do it to snub him. They just didn't think of it. Yeah. It was thoughtlessness rather than purposeful.
We're past 6:30 at this point.
We are. So. But I have one question for you.
Yes.
What did you ask Wayne up there? Did you ask him, and he said that's not necessary right now? You asked him something about the board?
Did he need me to show up at his planning meeting and play parliamentarian
while
you're gone?
I'm going to talk to him about that. I think we need a parliamentarian at our meetings, and I don't think it can be me.
Well, you're going to be out of town.
It doesn't matter whether I was out of town. I have secretarial stuff to do.
Right.
And I can't be the parliamentarian.
You can't juggle. You can't do both at once.
Well, because I might disagree with a ruling from the chair, and there's just a complete conflict of interest to be like the de facto parliamentarian who might be appealing the ruling. No. So I'm going to talk to him about that. I know he probably thinks he doesn't need it. It's not a matter of him. It's a matter of establishing precedent.
Right.
And I think our new members will feel more confident if there is a parliamentarian there, And to Wayne, in my opinion, and I say this right to him, he tends to be too informal. And I think he needs a parliamentary.
It's easy to do that sometimes.
It is. He gets too friendly.
That's not a criticism of him. It's just I've done that myself sometimes.
No, it's a criticism because...
yeah, when I was doing parliamentary stuff for the previous board, before I was unceremoniously dumped, they complained I was being too formal.
No, it helps keep the professional line of demarcation where the chair is not there to be your best friend. The chair's there to be the presiding officer.
The chair drives the bus.
And Wayne likes to be the best friend.
Yeah.
You know, and then it usually ends up being me trying to like goad him into like being a bit of a disciplinarian on some things, because sometimes like when a certain somebody should have been removed 2 months before they were up from convention committee chair because they weren't doing their job. So yeah, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to him about that. I think one of the first things this board should do is appoint a parliamentarian.
Yeah.
So, and you're willing to go to the meetings, so.
So the final score today.
Oh God, rub it in.
7-3. Holy cow.
But let's like update. So I have now 27, and you have what?
31.
Bastard. Fuck you, man. So 27.
Yeah.
Kicking my assets. I'm going to have to get a voodoo doll of you.
A voodoo doll of me. That's going to be easy.
He's going to be sitting at home going, ow, ow. No, actually, it'll all be in your ass. When you feel it all, you'll know. I'll be going.
That's all this tie-dye voodoo doll, yeah.
All right, so I'll get with you for us to do a little bit next week. Remember, next week's kind of rough. It's not going to be rough, but woof, woof. Who let the dogs out? No, I'm very random right now, aren't I? But I'm getting ready for the LNC meeting. And you never know how that's going to be. Okay.
I think we're done for the day.
We are. So catch you later, bitches.
See ya.
Let's do there. Yeah.
Viva! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.